Alright everyone, welcome back to part 6 of this Star Wars Iceberg. Today we are on part 6, Wookiepedia Maniac. Lots of obscure entries into this one, so let's just get into it. BSI Incident. The BSI Incident refers to a specific period of time around when The Force Awakens released, where printed material, encyclopedias, lore pieces about Star Wars would start to refer to timelines as BSI, meaning before Starkiller Incident. This would be abandoning the BBY before Battle of Yavin, as well as the ABY after Battle of Yavin timeline format. Caused a bit of disruption within the community, but they seem to have abandoned that starting recently. Vern's Light Whip. Vernestra Rwoh, a Jedi Knight during the High Republic era, wielded a unique purple-bladed lightsaber that she personally modified to function both as a standard lightsaber and a light whip. This dual functionality was activated by twisting a ring on the hilt, allowing her to switch between modes as needed. The inspiration for this modification came to Rwoh in a dream, prompting her to implement the changes and practice in private before revealing the weapon's capabilities during a mission on the jungle moon Wevo. Rwoh constructed her lightsaber prior to becoming the Padawan of Jedi Master Stellan Gios, and continued to use it after attaining the rank of Jedi Knight at the age of 15, making her the youngest in a generation. Unspeakable Rebel Superweapon. In Star Wars Dr. Aphra Book 7, an unspeakable rebel superweapon, rogue archaeologist Dr. Chelli Aphra steals an ancient Jedi artifact called the Farkiller, a sniper rifle powered by lightsaber technology. Rebel intelligence led by General Aaron Kraken plans to use the weapon to assassinate Emperor Palpatine. Captured by the rebels, Aphra discovers their plan but decides to betray them by stealing the Farkiller for herself. She attempts to leverage the weapon with the Empire, entering a dangerous alliance with the Imperial Minister Patina Vor, who has her own schemes. Throughout the story, Aphra's cunning and self-serving nature shine as she navigates a web of manipulation and deceit. Her interactions with figures like ex-girlfriend Captain Magna Tolvan and Wookiee bounty hunter Black Krrsantan further complicate her plans. The narrative explores Aphra's moral ambiguity and highlights her ability to exploit opportunities for survival. Red Arm Origin. C-3PO's red arm in Star Wars The Force Awakens is a result of an event explored in the 2016 comic Star Wars special C-3PO. The story reveals that his red arm comes from another droid, Omri, who sacrificed itself to save 3PO during a dangerous mission. C-3PO, along with Omri and other droids, was stranded on a hostile planet after their ship was attacked. Omri, originally loyal to the First Order, bonded with C-3PO as they worked together to survive. When they were close to being rescued, Omri willingly sacrificed itself to ensure C-3PO could transmit vital information to the Resistance. The red arm was Omri's, and C-3PO wore it as a tribute to his sacrifice, symbolizing the droid's complex relationships and emotional depth. By the end of The Force Awakens, however, C-3PO is back to his original gold plating, serves as a small reminder of his untold adventures. ObiWan EOP meet. Okay, this one's a little strange, so just bear with me. You remember in the Obi-Wan show, he starts as this kind of butcher with a bunch of people chopping up the meat of this animal that's been left in the Tatooine desert. He then feeds that to his EOP. Multiple things here. EOPs, as I can find, are more so herbivores, so they don't really eat meat, so that's a little strange. And then also, this creature out in the middle of the desert they're chopping up for pieces of meat. Is the meat not going bad because it's sitting in the sun all day? There's just a lot of questions here, and that's really all I could find for this entry. The Convocation. The Convocation of the Force was an advisory council established on the Moon Jedha during the High Republic era, around 382 BBY. Its purpose was to foster understanding and cooperation among various Force-worshipping religions. Members included the Jedi Order, the Guardians of the Whills, the Church of the Force, the Disciples of the Whills, the Falanasi, the Lonto, the Motokai, and the Sorcerers of Tund. The Convocation was chaired by Representative Kilin Tadara of the Church of the Force. At that time, the Path of the Open Hand, a cult from the planet Dalna, sought to join the Convocation, with follower Marda Rwoh aspiring to become the representative. Exegol Kyber Mountain. Exegol, a desolate planet in the unknown regions, was a hidden stronghold of the Sith. Beneath its surface lay a vast mountain of Kyber crystals, which the Sith Eternal cultists exploited for their dark purposes. These Kyber crystals, naturally attuned to the Force, were subjected to intense suffering and manipulation by the cultists, a process believed to amplify their power. Fragments mined from this Kyber Mountain were integral to Emperor Palpatine's schemes, notably powering the planet's destroying super lasers mounted on the Final Order's fleet of Star Destroyers. The Kyber Mountain's significance extended beyond mere weaponization. During a visit to Exegol, Darth Vader encountered the subterranean formation and witnessed firsthand the rituals performed by the Sith cultists. The crystals emitted agonizing screams, a testament to the torment inflicted upon them, which resonated throughout the Force. Droid Crush Pirates. The Droid Crush Pirates of Bastoon, led by Captain Aught-6, are a group of droid pirates associated with Bastoon. They have been involved in various conflicts, including a raid on Nightside in the Therazai system, heavy casualties. Following this, Ochia Bastoon sought assistance from the Sith Eternal to aid his hunt for Rey. In 3 ABY, the Droid Crush Pirates were tasked by the Sith assassin Ochia Bastoon to hunt down Darth Vader on Mustafar, with the promise of high-quality technology from Vader's armor. After retrieving Vader's lightsaber, the pirates were destroyed by Vader. Captain Auth-6 was later repaired and led a droid uprising against Vader, which was ultimately thwarted by Vader's spy, Zed-67. The pirates were then rebuilt and reprogrammed to serve Vader, though Auth-6 retained his annoyance at this duty. Reyé Hollis. Reyé Hollis was the human male from Naboo who served as a sergeant in the Rebel Alliance Special Forces during the Galactic Civil War. He played a key role in constructing Echo Base on Hoth in 3 ABY. While there, he met Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, and though initially skeptical of the Jedi Order, Hollis formed a bond with Luke. Their relationship is explored in the short story Luke on the Bright Side, which alternates between their first-person perspectives. The story details their efforts to build tunnels for the base while facing challenges, including a cave-in caused by a giant fork-nosed ice worm. Rapier Squadron. Rapier Squadron was a T-85 X-Wing starfighter unit within the New Republic Starfleet, led by Commander Poe Dameron. The 4-member squadron was tasked with patrolling the Mirren sector to safeguard trade routes from threats such as the Hutts, the Guavian Death Gang, and Contra Club. During their patrols, Rapier Squadron encountered the First Order, who successfully hijacked the Ysera Zide, a vessel they were escorting. In the ensuing conflict, Rapier Squadron engaged the hijackers, but the First Order managed to commandeer the ship and escape into hyperspace. Click-Clack's Karina. Click-Clack was the last Geonosian survivor after the Empire used poison gas to wipe out his species. When this egg hatched, a new queen was born under the same name of Karina. While Karina was unable to produce, she used a droid factory to create B-1 droids resembling her species. Her actions were driven by a desire to repopulate Geonosis and rebuild her people's empire. After her factory was taken by Darth Vader, Karina survived, vowing that her vision for Geonosis and its people would continue, despite the Empire's interference. Death Star future targets. Basically, after the destruction of Alderaan, the next Death Star targets were either considered to be Chandrila, which is the homeworld of Mon Mothma, or Mon Cala, the homeworld of Admiral Akbar and the Mon Cala people, who were known for also being quite rebellious. Klytobacter. Klytobacter is a devastating bacterial bioweapon developed by the Path of the Open Hand, a faction within the High Republic era of the Star Wars universe. This engineered bacterium was designed to disrupt the ecosystems of oceanic planets by targeting and eliminating the smallest species in the oceans, thereby causing a catastrophic collapse of the food chain. The bioweapon was produced in large quantities within the underground caverns of the Path's compound on Irium. The Path of the Open Hand intended to deploy Klytobacter against the Irium to reignite the war between the Irium and the Arano, two planets that had previously been in a state of ceasefire. In 382 BBY, an incident on the moon Erie, one of Irium's moons, involved the use of Klytobacter, contributing to the escalation of hostilities between the two planets. Klytobacter is described as an inky liquid with a smell that varies from neutral to seawater gone rancid, and in some accounts it is described as smelling like death. Eldra Cadus. Eldra Cadus was a Jedi Padawan who was captured by the Xerxes cartel before the invasion of Naboo. She was rescued by Darth Maul after a crash on the moon of Dragskull, where they fought together against bounty hunters. Despite being a Padawan, she held her own in a duel with Maul, even trapping him under rocks. However, Maul ultimately killed her to prevent knowledge of his betrayal from spreading. Maul reflected on how she could have made a strong Sith, but he killed her to satisfy his anger. Anaxis Location Mystery. Basically, Anaxis was once considered a core world, but in newer printed material, it's associated with the Outer Rim sieges, especially in the Clone Wars TV show as well. This all comes in with the Mandalorian siege in some way. We're not sure where Anaxis is really anymore. Not all Numidians. The Numidians spent the first 7 years of their life as grubs, maggot-like larvae that were forced to compete with each other on a limited food supply. Numidian drones were Numidians who were purposely restricted in their diet and never fully emerged from their grub state on purpose by more advanced Numidians. For example, the Trade Federation Senator Lot Dodd employed such drones in his Senate building offices, and the office drones took care of nearly all the delegation's work. To enforce competitiveness, an overseer would assign identical work to two different teams, with the incentive that the winning team would eat the other team. Rings of Vaale. The Rings of Vaale are ancient artifacts crafted by the Architects of the Vaale, a secret society of artisans from the city of Vaale on the planet Dionith. According to legend, there are two such rings. One grants eternal life but drives the wearer to madness, while the other bestows eternal fortune but hastens death. When worn together, the rings are said to provide the wearer with great power. However, they are also considered cursed, with tales of explorers who ventured to Dionith that went mad after encountering unspeakable horrors. During the Imperial era, the archaeology student Deto Yao hired the rogue archaeologist Dr. Chelly Afra to find the ring so that she could write her thesis on the artifact. Afra took the job, aware of the artifact's value, but found that Ronan Tag, a member of the powerful House of Tag, also sought the rings. Afra and her crew ventured into the underground area featuring colorful iconography that Afra believed dated back to the Old Republic. Tito hive mind. Titos were sentient reptilian species native to the planet Jakku in the western reaches. They were diminutive in height and had gray-green skin, most of which was covered in wrappings to protect them from the intense heat of their homeworld. Titos made no distinction between individuals, and so each member of the species was simply named Tito. The species experienced an unknown form of telepathic communication between the two. The species experienced an unknown form of telepathic connection between individuals, and Tito were known to recall events that happened to other Tito. Ransom Casterfo's fate. Ransom Casterfo was a centrist senator from the planet Ryoza in the New Republic, known for his ambition and political acumen. His early life was marked by hardship under the Galactic Empire, where his homeworld was exploited for the construction of the first Death Star. His parents due to the harsh conditions fueling his resentment towards Emperor Palpatine and Darth Vader. As a senator, Casterfo was a political opponent of the Senator Leia Organa, and he collected artifacts from the Galactic Empire, including pro-Emperor Palpatine banners and armor fragments. Despite their differing political views, he and Leia formed an alliance while investigating a major crime organization. During this time, Casterfo discovered Leia's true parentage, that she was the daughter of Darth Vader. Casterfo's political career took a dramatic turn when he was accused for treason for allegedly assisting Arliz Hadrason and the Amaxine warriors in their rebellion against the New Republic. He was sent to Ryoza to face execution. When he arrived on Ryoza, he was executed by the New Republic, marking a tragic end to his life. Klias Teradine. Klias Teradine was a Zeltron male Padawan of the Jedi Order during the High Republic era. He was known for his arrogance and lack of humility, often clashing with his fellow Padawan Tylera Yorick and their Jedi Master Kiababa. Teradine discovered the Archive of Forbidden Artifacts, a collection of darkside artifacts, and later located the Yellow Shrine on Mount Bigja. Against the wishes of their masters, he persuaded Yorick to explore the shrine with him. During their exploration, Teradine was killed by Yorick in a lightsaber duel after being affected by a yellow Vitalicron. His death was covered up and he vanished from Jedi history, with later generations believing he had been expelled from the Jedi Order. Bonbrak and Zelian Linguistic Ancestor. There's not much of this one. Basically, Bonbraks and Zelians can understand each other, so there's been a conclusion that they share a common language, ancestor / planet at some point in their histories as a species. Pride Corporate Sector. High Colonel Pride was a seasoned officer in the Imperial military, serving as a captain during the Battle of Jakku. Following the deaths of his superiors, he asserted control over his battle group, assuming command as their self-appointed High Colonel. By 21 ABY, Pride continued to hold the rank of High Colonel and focused on reuniting the remnants of the Galactic Empire, believing the galaxy needed order and stability. Operating under the emerging command structure from the unknown regions, Pride's factions secretly collaborated with the Corporate Sector Authority, the CSA, using codename Steadfast to hide their association. He also gained the attention of the Sith Eternal Cult, which worked under the authority of the reborn Emperor Palpatine, and was trusted as an agent. During a mission on Bastakor, Pride assisted Ochio Bastoon, a Jedi hunter, by providing him with CSA forces to help track down Dathan and Miramir, and their daughter Rey. Though Pride initially complied with Ochi's request, he later rejected further demands for troops and warned Ochi to avoid the corporate sector at all costs. The Hidden Hand. The Hidden Hand was a secret criminal syndicate operating in the Star Wars galaxy. It engaged in covert activities, including hiring assassins and influencing galactic events from the shadows. The syndicate was eventually targeted by Darth Vader, who infiltrated its ranks as a part of its mission to eliminate potential threats to the Sith. Not much is known about the Hidden Hand. The group's activities and structure reflected the galaxy's underworld's complex and shadowy nature. Droid GATRA. The Droid GATRA was a group of droids advocating for their own rights and equality in the galaxy dominated by organics. Initially formed from reprogrammed separatist battle droids after the Clone Wars, the GATRA transitioned into a criminal syndicate with philosophical goals. They opposed organic bias policies, pursued autonomy, and conducted activities like sabotage and smuggling. Known for their alliances with underworld figures, they operated in secret and sought to reshape the galaxy's view on droid intelligence and independence. Free Virgilia. The Free Virgilia class bunker buster was a heavily armed corvette developed for the Resistance during its conflict with the First Order. Named after Free Virgilia, it was built to carry out precision strikes against large warships and fortified positions. Featuring ion cannons, turbo lasers, and heavy armor, the ship could deliver significant firepower while enduring enemy attacks. It played a prominent role in battles such as the evacuation of Dakar, showcasing its devastating firepower and strategic importance to the Resistance. First Order Insignia names. Basically, in First Order Insignia, patches had the names of famous and prominent leaders within the Galactic Empire, which was the precursor of the First Order. Names were shown such as Kaplan, Tarkin, Dillon, Power, Rowe, and Hall, all paying homage to the Galactic Empire before them. Alright everyone, that's another section down. That wraps up section 6, Wookiepedia Maniac. Next up we will be going and taking a look at section 7, which is titled Numidian Prime. Looking forward to seeing what's in that section. We'll see you in the next one.